let's take a look at your current energy, and if this sounds like your situation, then this reading may be for you. So the first card we have is the 10 of Swords. This is a card describing the end of a painful cycle, a cycle that may have involved a lot of struggle. And this card reminds us that we must embrace endings in order to make room for new beginnings. And our transformation really occurs when we accept the end of this painful cycle and we see that everything that has occurred has served a purpose. And this card is really asking us to surrender to the end of this cycle so that we may start the next cycle. And I pulled an oracle card as well. And so for your oracle card, you got the compassion card. So this is just reminding us that yes, this has been hard, but everything will be okay. Have compassion for yourself and know that when one thing ends, it makes room for something new to begin. And remember to have compassion for yourself if you're feeling beat up at the end of this hard 10 of Swords cycle. So what is blocking this cycle from ending? We have the Page of Swords. So what is happening here? Well, maybe you have new ideas and enthusiasm that you keep pouring into this situation that keeps you stuck in this painful cycle because you're not willing to just let it go and accept where things are at and able to make space for something new. So what is an unconscious driver in this situation? We've got the 5 of Swords, another sword card. And this card can be a card of winning at all costs. You see, these people have walked away. They've put their swords down and walked away, and this person may not know when to walk away. Maybe they care more about being right and winning than knowing when to walk away and end this conflict. What is consciously driving this situation is the 9 of Pentacles. This is what you may want. This may be your goal and your desire to have the success and enjoyment, to have this abundant harvest that we see on this card, to have this flourishing environment. Because this is a Pentacles card, maybe this is a goal related to your career or business, and you're wanting that success, you're wanting that abundance, you want to harvest this good life, you want to enjoy life and feel safe. And this may be why it feels so hard right now to end this cycle. Maybe you've had a long, hard cycle trying to make changes in your career or to start your own business. This doesn't have to be a career or business reading. This is just one way to look at these cards with this pentacle coming up here. It's been a long, hard journey. And the reason you may be having a hard time letting go and moving on to something new is because you really have this dream of this 9 of Pentacles. So let's look at the past. What is the past events influencing this situation? We have the Ace of Swords. So this can be a card of clarity, a new idea. Maybe you had a new idea for a new career direction or a new business or any sort of new idea that sparked you on this path. And now you are at the 10 of Swords. You are feeling a little bit defeated. It's been painful. You may not have gotten where you had hoped with that 9 of Pentacles. And this is what really led to where you are now, this new idea, this clarity. And perhaps these new ideas are what is fueling that Page of Swords that is blocking you. These new ideas fuel this enthusiasm and it keeps you from ending this cycle. In the future position, we have the 9 of Wands. So again, another long cycle. The 9 of Wands is someone who is almost where they want to be, but you can see here, let's look at the card upright. they're feeling a little beat up. They're feeling a little tired. It's been a long, hard road. And with the card reversed, there may be that reluctance to move on. There may be some fear or something. They're exhausted from this journey. Maybe they're ready to give up, but there's a reluctance to move forward here. So the card that represents your feelings about this situation, the Six of Swords, another swords card. This reading is full of swords so far, and that can really represent this air energy, this being up in our heads, thinking, maybe facing difficult truths. Swords can also represent stress, pain, and conflict, which your significator card with the Ten of Swords is really reflecting this. There's a lot of swords energy in this reading. And this is your feelings, how you see yourself, or your influence on the situation. And this is really a card of moving on to calmer waters. It feels like it's time to move forward and to find peace after a period of struggle. So, this may be how you're feeling about this situation. You want to find peace and calmer waters. External influences on this situation, we have the Hierophant. So, this could be a card of conformity and conventionality. You may have people or society telling you to just conform, just do it conventionally. Stop trying this idea that you may have started that led you down this path. Or perhaps this could represent teachers or gurus. Maybe you're trying to find a way to salvage the situation. You're looking at teachers in the space and they keep giving you new energy and new ideas. And that is why you're having such a hard time letting go of this situation. The card representing hopes and fears, we have the Lovers. So traditionally more of a relationship card, but here in the hopes and fears category, this could represent finding harmony and finding balance, and perhaps finding balance between the masculine and feminine energies. This reading has had a lot of sword energy, a lot of that logical masculine thinking up in your head energy. And this reading has had no cups. So it's really missing that, heart-based, emotional energy, that compassionate energy. We got that compassion card at the beginning. So maybe you're desiring more balance and harmony in this situation. Maybe you're feeling tired and defeated and just because things have been out of balance. Or maybe you are wanting to or fearful of stepping more into your feminine. This reading is a very logical, swords thinking based energy, and stepping into the more feminine, receptive, heart led energy and relinquishing all of this sword energy may be a fear of yours. And the potential outcome is the Page of Pentacles. This is the messenger of earth, the messenger of prosperity. They bring news of stability and manifestation, solid new beginnings. This is a card of planting the seeds of prosperity. You may be at the beginning stages of a new project or starting down a new path once you let go of where you are now so that you can have that new beginning. So we had this reading is about this Ten of Swords card. This has been a long, hard, painful path. And this card is about letting go so that you can have a new beginning. And that new beginning can potentially look like the Page of Pentacles with stability and planting the seeds of prosperity. And I pulled another oracle card to accompany this Page of Pentacles, and we got the Abundance card, planting the seeds of prosperity, planting the seeds of abundance. So this card says, turn your attention to the grace and abundance hidden in the natural world around you. Find inspiration in its lush and verdant beauty. Attention germinates gratitude. Let that positive emotion carry you. So this is really for me saying, have compassion. It's okay to take a minute to overcome this long and painful cycle. But once you let go and let that door close so that you can have that new beginning, allow yourself to potentially step into a new idea and start to plant the seeds of this abundant, prosperous new beginning. And I pulled one more oracle card to accompany this Pentacles card. And you got, when we zoom out from the details of our conflicts, we can see the bigger picture. Every step towards the larger vision, no matter how small, makes a difference. And again, so maybe part of the reason why it's feeling so hard to move on from this Ten of Pentacles is because there's a need to get out of the details and see the larger picture. So it's really this reminder to have compassion for yourself. It's okay that this was a long, hard journey. What did you learn? How did this journey serve its purpose? And think about how you can zoom out from the details of conflict and see the bigger picture. Every step, no matter how small, is moving you in a new direction, and it makes a difference. And the direction that you are heading is the Page of Pentacles, abundant new beginning.